What's up, my crypto legends? In this video, we're taking a look at Bitcoin because Bitcoin right now is at a crucial level here. Looking at the weekly chart, we are holding by a thread the all-time highs, as you can see here, for the last few months. It's going to decide in the next 1 or 2 weeks if we are finally going to break down, or are we going to manage to hold this level and start creating a kind of a double bottom scenario. We're going to talk about this in today's episode. We're also taking a look at the lower time frames. We have been range trading here in between $20,000 and $18,500 now for the last few weeks, and we need to break out from this zone to know which direction we are going to take for the next coming months potentially. Now, of course, we have seen some massive opportunities inside of this range. I'm going to show you the biggest resistance zone and support level that we need to break to then have that continuation to that side of the breakout. So make sure to stay tuned in this episode. Hi there, Andy here. Welcome back to another episode of Bitcoinsensus. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Daily TA on Bitcoin crypto, and also do live streams to connect with the community. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything that I say, and if you do so, do your own research. Let's dive in, guys, here, because here on the weekly chart, we are retesting the past cycle all-time high from 2017, which is the $19,000 range. The weekly close is at $18,950. We're just holding here for the last few months this level. It's the first time we're testing the last all-time high from the last cycle. Okay, if we do take a look at 2013, of course, all-time high from that cycle in the bear market for 2018, we did not manage to go all the way down to $1,100 range, which was the all-time high. We just went down to $3,200 level. So it's the first time we're testing the all-time high from the past cycle, meaning that as it is the first time, there is a possibility in getting a huge bounce. For the moment, we do see the bulls defending the level, okay? So we need to know that, there is a possibility in getting a bounce from this level. Of course, we got the massive bearish case scenario where there is massive recession coming in 2023. Interest hikes are going to continue. Currencies globally are going down against the US dollar. So there's massive fear. S&P 500 could correct a lot more in the next coming months. Of course, this is very likely to drag Bitcoin down. Now, what happens if we do get that breakdown from this $19,000 range successfully in the next coming weeks or months? Well, of course, the biggest level here of resistance that should be turning into support, of course, is that $12,000 range. On the volume profile, we can see the massive wall here, okay, value area high from the entire 2017 to 2023 years price action, okay? So that should be the level where the price of Bitcoin should definitely find a bottom, in my personal opinion. We've got a huge range here of $12,000, as you can see. Price action from $12,000 all the way up to $19,000 has always gone very fast. So we haven't got much support at that range. So this is why the bulls are trying to defend this level, because they do know if they start breaking successfully below $19,000, closing a strong weekly around about 18, 17K, next stop is very likely going to be that $12,000 range. Okay, so the drop can be pretty aggressive. This is why the bulls are trying to hold the range. Remember, guys, my favorite trading platform for crypto is Bybit. Using my link in the description, you can get up to $4,380 worth of bonus that can be claimed at the rewards hub. I also have a full video tutorial on how to learn to use this platform down below in the description. Let's dive in here straight into the 4-hourly chart, okay? Because I want to show you here, we've had a very nice trading week, okay? I've been showing you on the live streams, very nice opportunities at this level. We're having a large consolidation. Price action from today has been very boring, going slightly to the downside, but also to the upside, just moving a couple of $100, okay? So weekend, no volatility, very boring for trading. There has been some trading scenarios that I can show you right away, but what we want to see right now by next week potentially is a big massive breakout from the support level or from the resistance. What is the strongest support level despite this volatility that we have had below $18,800? As you can see, well, it is exactly that level. We have a major weekly close and open, all right, at that level. I'm just going to go to the weekly chart. It's a new level that I have marked right over here. There is a possibility that we'll be dumping down and it won't be a weekly level. But of course, I do think that we are going to close the weekly tonight at 18,000, above 18,800, and this is going to convert in a very nice strong level. We've also got a daily level that I'm going to show you, which is right over here. As you can see, that hasn't been tapped yet. We haven't tested this level. It is exactly at the $19,600 range. So we've got two big major levels here. The support one, as you can see, if we do take a look at the fixed volume profile, let me just get the volume profile out of the way here 1 second. As you can see here, the fixed volume profile from the range here traded since the 15th of September, the value area low is exactly at 18,800. If we take the price action from August all the way to here, we can also see it is right over here, the value area low at 18,800. So that is the biggest support, even going as back as June, as you can see from the 13th of June, all right, all the way till the 2nd of October. We can also see that the value area low is around about the 18,700. So we know that this major weekly level has to be broken successfully with a large amount of volume. We do not want to see these kinds of breakouts, okay, looking at the 4 hourly with hardly any volume at all. As you can see, we did have some volume here, but we came straight back up. This is when we had the news event, all right, and we do not want to trade the news because news has massive volatility to the upside, to the downside, no real breakouts for direction. We all know this. We need to trade big volume from whales that are trading during the week, not from the news. So we need to see that break down successfully from $18,800. As you can see here, for the last few days on the 25th of September, on the 28th, okay, we were getting those bounces from this range. We would have to see a big massive volume breakdown here, potentially hitting $18,000 or even $17,800, for example, with a big amount of volume. Then we do know that we are likely to have that continuation to the downside, guys. So this is very much where what I am looking for to see the next trend to the downside. All right, will be trading, of course, if we do see that breakout. I'm not going to rush into a breakout trade because we can always swing failure here from the lows and create a big massive fake out, especially if we do have low volume. So I'm paying very close attention to this scenario. What is the biggest resistance? If that is the biggest support I do see, the 18,800, remember, big volume breakout is where I'm going to start trading here, the retracements, potentially to retest the lows of this breakdown. What is the biggest resistance right now that we do have? Well, there are several resistance levels. I can talk to you about two major ones, all right? One in the short term, which is this one right over here, the $20,300 range. We also got lower resistance here, the daily at 19,600, but we need a very big breakout from that level, because even though if we do get above 19,600, it's going to be looking very, very hard to have a successful break above this range, because we do need a large amount of volume and we do need big candlestick here, looking at the 1 hourly or 4 hourly chart. Okay, massive move to the upside, because it's just full of resistances. Let me just show you why there is big resistance above 19,600. Well, you can see it right over here. We do have a nice big trend line. If we do go to the weekly, this trend line is from the lower highs since the all-time high. As you can see here, all-time high 69k in March of 2022. We can see $48,000, very well respected here. Also, just a few weeks ago, we tested that level, as you can see, to perfection here, the 13th of September, hitting that lower high resistance trend line since the all-time high. And of course, we still have that resistance at the range here. So it's going to be very difficult. I do think in the next coming days, we need to see that huge breakout if we want to be confident in Bitcoin actually going to higher levels, because I only see big, massive resistance. Any attempts here with low volume is just going to be a shorting opportunity, just like we saw this shorting opportunity here. I'm actually still in that short position. I do have a small percentage of that short position here from $19,900 range. We talked about that in one of the latest live stream, that it was a shorting opportunity. Now let's see what is going to happen. We either break down this level and potentially have that continuation only with a large amount of volume, or a break above 19,600, okay, but it would have to be a big breakout. We got the resistance trend line from lower highs, and we've also got this daily level, very strong resistance at $20,300, $400 range. As you can see, it's a major daily zone, very well respected as resistance, also respected as resistance right over here. So even though we do get above that level of 19,600, we're going to start hitting more resistance over here. I will only be confident to start looking for longs and looking for higher lows for that potential long to retest the highs, only if we do have that big massive volume breakout. Okay, so right now inside of this range, the biggest levels, as I showed you, is the $18,800 level, and it's also this one right over here of $19,600. Okay, so right at this moment, unless we do have a very big breakout or potentially a swing failure pattern, I'm not going to be doing any trading till tomorrow, Monday. Okay, so these are the big two levels, breakout and breakout. From these support levels, I will be looking for that potential retest as support and claim the highs. Okay, this is going to be it for today's episode. Not much going on, guys. Very boring price action, no major patterns. Let me just show you a quick little pattern that there was here. Of course, it was a Gartley pattern. I do like Gartley patterns very much. I can see it right over here. Beautiful long opportunity here just a couple of hours ago. As you can see, when we had this move to the downside, we can see the lows to the highs to the low range right over here. As you can see, hitting that 618 level, getting a small little bounce to the 50%, and then of course to that 7.8 with a little bit of volatility, as you can see. So obviously coming up here to claim the C point, you know, which is the take profit zone. 618 and the C point are take profit areas if you manage to get into that long bullish scenario. We are in some volume here, but remember we did talk about this volume move to the downside. This one right over here, we also had one today, but you know, it is the weekend and it's not really large volume. As you can see when we zoom out, you know, these volume breakouts, movements to the downside during the weekend. Stay cautious, guys. This is not huge whale volume. Thank you for joining the live stream. Check out Bitcoinsensus website for the latest news, technical analysis ideas. I will be ready tomorrow morning Central European time to make the live stream, to look for those trading opportunities with the community. Thank you, and I will see you tomorrow.